Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And I am back today with none other than Jay from VKJ TV. And we are back to talk about Diarra from Detroit, episode 5. Are y'all ready to talk about it? I'm about to bring the guest up, and we are going to jump right into it. How are you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. It's Sunday. It's a brand new week. I mean, and I'm ready to get into it. What did you think of this week's episode?
Um, it was a little slow at first, but once the pace started picking up, hey y'all, I was like, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. But I understood why, it was pacing, and then it just bam, just exploded. I was like, all right, great, 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 love it. So yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, we definitely needed the buildup, I think, right? In this
Right.
episode. So I absolutely get it. Hey, Monique,
What
69 Ways.
up?
Johnson. I'm
Hey,
absolutely going to have to catch the replay. Okay, well, come on back when you finish it. She says, "Hey, Jay. Hey,
hey,
Queen. How are you?"
hola.
Okay, so we can get right into it. So we know that Diarra's through. She's lost all our money. She's brokey broke right now, Jay. Um,
Yep.
with the whole gambling experience. So she's going through it. And what did you think about the opening? So we see her on the couch. She's clearly emotional. She's lost all her money gambling. She feels even further away from finding Ambien. How did this make you feel? Were you feeling like Diarra in that moment? Did you feel the vibes?
I was like, oh, for real? Like, yeah, it's been a hectic couple of weeks here. Like, we're not really getting anywhere. So I kind of felt a little defeated along with her. Like, dang, okay, is this the end? We're only on episode 5. Like, this can't possibly be the end. But I did see the disappointment. I did feel her pain. I felt like, we kind of hit a brick wall here. But I was hopeful. And but she was done. Like, she was done. So I mean, how many times have we been there? Just done after we tried and tried and tried. So I definitely felt her pain.
Absolutely, and to know that it's really not just about Ambien and losing the money, I think that was the icing on the cake. I think she's finally at the point of, "Okay, that didn't work. He really did ghost me, plus my marriage is over. It's done." You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, it's a wrap. So she's sitting there or standing there rather, and she's dreaming of the times gone by, right? She and Swa, their dinner dates, how much they loved each other, and she's ready to take down the command center too. She's just
Mhm.
completely over it. I give up. I give up. Would you give up this easily? What would you do? Because I do have to introduce a game. I almost forgot. Lord forgive
Oh,
me.
Oh,
It is called "What Would Diarra Do?" Okay, so basically, what we're
okay.
gonna do is in any of these situations, you're gonna give me what you would do if you were Diarra in the moment, okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Cool.
So we're gonna travel along this journey with her, and whenever I wanna know what you would do if you were Diarra, I'll put this back up, okay?
Cool.
So at this point, would you be ready to give up? Would you be through with it?
I mean, with everything leading to a dead end the way that it did, yeah, I'll be like, man, forget all this, man. Like, just like she ripped everything down and she put it in the box, I was like, all right, I'm done. So as you said, just to kind of like piggyback off of what she said, she is not only feeling defeated of not finding ambient, but also just that she always goes back in her mind thinking about at that dinner that was the happiest time in her life, and just to not be able to like come to the realization that this is never going to happen again. I'm not going to be as happy in this moment the same way again. Definitely feeling defeated. So yeah, I would have did the same thing. Get out of here. Don't
Outta
get
here.
back in the box.
Go
Like,
away.
yeah, go get out of here.
I was surprised. Honestly, seeing what we ended up seeing this episode, I was really surprised about
Mhm.
the take of the friends, right? I thought that they would be happy, like, "Okay, Diarra, you're done with everything." Um, but no, and we'll get to that later on, but I was really surprised at their response. Okay, so now we're gonna bring it back up, Jay. We're gonna bring it back up
Mhm.
again. In this moment, sitting outside the pawn shop, she's looking at the ring. You can see that up in the little circle up there. She's looking at this beautiful ring that represents everything from the marriage. And what do you do if you're DR in this moment? Do you go on in that pawn shop?
Shoot. That ring gotta be at like at least 20,000, 25 at the list, at the minimum 25, $30,000. If I'm brokety broke, hell yeah, I'm going in that pawn shop. Like, let's go. Like, you bounced the check on me. You know what I mean? Like, I lost all the money at the gambling table. Only thing I got left is this ring. Let's go. I don't care about these damn memories. These memories are not paying my bills. Okay. So I would, if I was Diara, we going in that pawn shop.
Going
Okay.
in the pawn shop.
Because I still got the car. So I'm driving up to the spot. So I mean, the car was the most important thing to me because I picked out the rims, I picked out this and that. So I got the car. So I'm good. So the ring is, you know, I'm not gonna get emotional about the ring. Give me the money. What would you do?
I mean, because at this point she brokey broke. She said that was all the money that she had to her name. He didn't
Right.
cancel the check, stop payment, and quiet as it's kept, Swa don't want her. You know what I mean? At this point, he's
Oh,
moved on. He doesn't want her. So I'm with you. Um, I'm a take it to them people and get as much as I can for it. Maybe I don't go to the pawn shop though. Maybe I go to a jeweler in town.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I can get a better rate that way.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
Latoya, how you
What's
doing?
up? What up?
Okay, but, that's not all that was going on in this moment, right? So she went to
Mhm.
the pawn shop, but we see that she is not alone. We have a
Mhm.
visitor. We have a visitor. Now, when you saw him taking pictures, following her around throughout the episode, before we actually get to meet him, what did you think this was about?
I thought he was connected to that Russian dude. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the first like schemish guy we were introduced to was the naked Russian dude, right? So now that he's taken out, this is his partner here, just like kind of being like, okay, on the scene with it. But then also I'm thinking about how Big Tank, that's the name Tank, was looking for her also. So I
Mhm.
thought he was connected to him as well. So it's either the Russian guy or Tank, or they, all trying to find out what she's doing. So before we find out who he is, yeah, that's who I thought he was connected to.
Definitely, and I didn't know because we're being introduced to so many new characters and they're adding so many more layers and dimensions to the story. I honestly didn't know
Mhm.
in that moment, but I was inclined to think it was somebody Greek, it was the Russians, it was the Italians. Look, because they didn't talked about the mob being
Yeah,
at Mr. Greek's restaurant, so I'm with you. I thought he was nefarious, though. I will say that. I thought he
yeah.
was up to no good. So Diara's running wild. She's got errands to run, a ton of things to do. And so,
Mhm.
as a part of all this, we find out that Aja is hosting a ball. And this is all about the city of Detroit. It's called the Detroit Experience. This is a place for her to get on this list, right? The 35 under 35 in Detroit. But in the midst of all that, they kind of share a beautiful moment, right? Diarra, I think, is probably the most vulnerable so far that we've seen her in this moment with Aja. What did you think of this interaction?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're both on a mission, right? She wants to get in the 35 under 35, right? And they're both on this separate mission, separate journey, but she's trying to do her best to be there for her. You know what I mean? So she is a good friend. Um, they're both in like a dire place, you know what I'm saying, of finding purpose, of finding, just kind of accomplishing things again. Diallo's trying to get back to who she was, into a better place. And the young lady, she's very ambitious. So, them being there for each other is a great thing. It's a great a place to be as far as the sisterhood from what I see. But Diarra just has a way more dangerous and crazy journey to go on. But she is still trying to be as supportive as possible. So I like it.
Absolutely. I did too. I liked how she could try to put her stuff aside. I mean, we know it's ever present on her mind, right? She's almost in the middle. I want to call it a crisis almost.
Right.
But to go out and support Aja, and then not only just that, but being reintroduced to that part of society because that's a world that she shared with Swa. Like she's
Right.
back in the hood right now, right? But when she was with him, this is what they did together. They went to balls, and then that being his cousin, we know, listen, that he has to go to all of Aja's events. Hey,
Yes.
hey, let's talk about it. Hey, oh, I just said hey to Latoya. Hey, Candy Girl. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
You
Candy
know,
Love.
okay, okay, big money. Hey, Tyra. Hey, y'all. Is this the new show with Claire Huxtable? If so, now, Tara, I was in your DMs asking you if you watched it. You talk about this sounds like Nancy Drew, but we would love to have you if you want to on board.
What up, Tyra? Thanks for the super chat.
Yes, we appreciate it. Okay. So now DR goes back home. Listen, and it's a lot going on because she's done, but Monty has some new clues. Okay. She finds the spider card. We know Ambien was obsessed with the spiders. But she feels like she's got some intel on the next step. She feels like she done found out a secret rendezvous place and time, right? They need to be there. So now it's Monty convincing Diarra that the search needs to continue. So in this moment, Jay, what would Diarra do?
Okay, so we already talked about how defeated she felt. She was trying to just like give it up, right? So that's why she made a promise to the other young lady, like, I'll be there. I'm going to support you. I'll make the speech. You know what I'm saying? She was done. She was like, all right, I'm done with this wild goose chase. But now, when Mo comes with this information, she's like, So I still want to know what happened to him. If I'm Diarra, and let's say, homeboy is a girl, right? It's a young lady that put it on me. Let's do it like that. She put it on me, and I'm thinking about the pee. I'm like, I can't walk away from this. And you just brought something new that's like actually some pertinent information. All right, I'm back in. I would do the same thing she did. Let's go. Let's go. We got 5 more episodes, so let's go.
Jay, for the Master P, that's what I'm gonna call it. For the Master P,
Master.
you're going to all levels and limits, right?
I mean, if she put it on me, okay, if I think back, there was one that actually put it on me. Yes, I would go above and beyond to go and find her again.
You climb
Yes.
mountains, you go into abandoned warehouses. I mean,
One word, Kegels. So yes, I would.
bye.
I would go above and beyond to feel that again. So yes, I would be just like her. What's up, y'all?
Have mercy. Sure says, I've seen the trailer, but haven't really been enticed to watch it. Is it worth your time? Jay, let
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's worth the time. I mean, if you're into, mystery and solving cases, but at the same time with a little hood twist, and a little bit of edge to it, and a lot of comedy in it, this is definitely the one. Definitely the one.
Absolutely. I think it's irreverent. It's not what you're expecting, but it's very well written. It's very
Yeah.
well acted. So you can't even some of the more outlandish things that seem like, girl, be for real. You're still drawn into the story. They're doing a great job of telling a story to
Yeah, on
me.
top of that, there are some familiar faces, Morris Chestnut, John Sally, Felicia Rashad. There's some familiar people in there, so it definitely kind of like still locks you in, even though you may not know who Diarra is and these new actors and all this and that. So
For
definitely.
sure. Absolutely. Hey, welcome. Fine, I'll watch. It looks like
Uh-huh.
they give me more season. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now we have the rendezvous point because Diarra is all on board. Now that all she needed really was a reason. And I think in this moment she feels like everything else is crumbling. This is the one thing I need to get to the bottom of, right?
Oh yeah.
We see that. But before Monty can get out the house, good. Mr. Detective, we remember Mr. Detective, right? When she came
Yeah.
and poured her guts out in the police precinct talking about, "Yeah, I gave him this, and I didn't hear back from him." He said, "Ma'am, it sounds like you've been ghosted. It sounds like you need to go to Match.com." And then she was like, "F the popos, y'all don't like black people, gotta
Oh
step
yeah.
out of the precinct." And now he's at her house because they know they have a dead Russian on their hands.
Mhm.
She came in talking about a Russian, so now she's on the list of suspects. What'd you think of this moment, Jay? Were you surprised at this?
I was not expecting to see this guy again. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't. I think she just dismissed him altogether. I thought he just played his role. We would never see him again. But yes, I mean, if you come into the precinct talking about a tied up Russian, and now we got a dead Russian from this club, I got to put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't go to, what was it, harmony.com? He's like, yeah, I met my wife on Harmony. You should use that. Right. So
Like, I don't give a F where you met your wife. Yeah. Burn
yeah.
burn bridges. DR didn't get any sympathy.
Yeah, I was kind of like surprised, but I was like, okay, well, they don't have anything yet. But yes, you did mention a Russian. You're the prime suspect right now. You're the prime suspect.
The prime
Mhm.
suspect. And so, like, I guess any good person would do, or I guess any fearful person of being locked up in the Pinta, she decides that she needs to go and dispose of all of the evidence that she has linking her to her night at the SEX club, okay? But before she can get out the house good, Jay, I have to
Mm.
give credit where credit is due and say you predicted that Mr. Danger, aka Calvin, had a thing for our good sis Diarra. And it appears you're not wrong because the way Big Meech was looking at Diarra, I was like, he about to fold her up. Listen, what did you think of this moment, Jay?
Like I said, I mean, come on. Earlier in the season, we seen Homeboy actually feel sorry for her, want to talk to her, give her advice. He cooked her pancakes.
I did. So
Okay, when a man cook your pancakes, he feeling you. He always felt you. Y'all just haven't come around to having that conversation or being into that. I think the way that Danger feels right now is like, oh, she got away because she married Schwa,
mm,
but now I have a chance to possibly, be with her the way that I want to, but I've never expressed that I really like her. So I think now is his time to, oh, she's divorced, she's getting a divorce. Let me just be as nice as possible, cook up some more pancakes and say, hey, I'm about to make some more food. And she's just like, such and such and such and such, right? I was like, dang. Like she on her business and he on some like, I want to really get with you. So, it's the whole investigation is kind of blocking his way to her heart.
yeah, I totally agree because Diarra, we know when she gets her mindset, it's definitely a one-track mind. But I felt for my guy, right? Because he's like, I'm making chili tonight, Diarra. I'm trying to see what's up. You wanna come over? Do we need, a repeat? I'm trying to get to know you, Diarra. And I
Uh-huh.
wondered if it was because of the different dynamic because he is clearly a hood dude and he is involved in some street activities.
Yeah.
But with that being said, as he's asking her if she wants some chili, she's like, "Can you get those guys?" I forget, don't quote me because I don't remember the name of the crew that's
Mhm.
running their hood or whatever, but the ones putting pressure on Monty's husband, Glock. Okay.
Yeah, Glock
So,
from BMF.
exactly, so many ties. But can you get them to back off a little bit? I know you tight with everybody. He's like, "No, I'm a sovereign citizen. Basically, I'm tight with myself."
Mhm.
But we saw that when she got in that car, he picked up that phone. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know who he was calling. I said, "Is he in on it? Does he know what happened to Ambien or
I had
what?"
that thought too. I did. I did. Again, every time somebody's on the phone and we don't hear who's on the other end, it's like we always gonna be suspicious that maybe they're tied to the Russians, maybe they're tied to Ambien, it's like we don't know, and that's why I love watching this show because it's like they kind of keep you on edge to be like, who is he talking to? What's going on?
Exactly, I absolutely felt that too.
What's up? What's up?
Uh Pancakes are very good, Jay. Monique says, "Shoot, I need someone to cook pancakes for me." Listen, and they were silver dollars. I thought that was so cute. Hey, EJ.
What's up, EJ?
Stop talking about pancakes because I'm hungry now.
Go cook them.
She's like, "Listen, can we do X, Y, or Z?" And of course, we don't hear who's on the other side of the conversation. So it does leave us wondering for most of the episode.
Right.
While Diarra's doing that and going to expose of the little evidence she has, Monty again found that a camera was missing. He has the little, I guess disposable camera. And so she tracks down the place where you still get real pictures developed, right? And so
Right.
in exchange for grandpa getting to feel on her booty, he is going to show her the last set of photos that Ambien brought in. What'd you think of this interaction?
Hilarious. Again, another hilarious scene. You know what I'm saying? She's like, listen, I see there's nothing in these pictures, man, but if you want to touch on my booty, you're gonna have to give me some more. So he's like, well, I told the boy, he was lonely. I told the boy to use his D for whatever purposes. And
Listen,
then he pulls out what he pulls out. And then after he pulls it out, she's like, oh, all right. And then he's like, yeah. So
that gotta be worth a booty touch, a
it
rub or
definitely was.
something.
Both cheeks.
I was like, "You dirty old man." But we did get some information here, and I thought, again, that this would be, again, more of what Diarra needed to continue her search because in that, there was a framed picture of their date where they went to the escape room, and like Monty said, it's cute. It's weird for a first date, but it was very, very cute. What did you think about the fact that he got a picture framed of them from their first
Yo, this is confirmation right here. Like, if nobody believed, Moni, you definitely, I mean, yeah, you called it a case, but now this was like pure evidence that what she is saying is real. Like she really needed this to be like, all right, we got to really get back on it now because this man really loves me. After the first date, which was 5 dates, right?
3, right? They were on 3rd day, so they knew each
Right.
other biblically. That was their arrangement. Yeah.
Right. And she talked about the escape room and how great it was. And they finished it in 15 minutes. And, it was just a great time. So it wasn't just the D, it was the whole experience of being with him. And that's another reason why she is just really like, yo, I really need to find this guy because I think, honestly, after this whole divorce and her moving back, like this was the greatest refresher for her. This was like the greatest opportunity to get back to some type of level of love and affection. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure Swa was not too nice with this whole thing, as we've seen in past episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's definitely feeling love from Ambient. And this, hey, I was happy to see it. I was like, yo, this is great. This is great. She's
I
back on it.
They say you should be Delulu. We should all keep a little Delulu. You know what I'm saying? And I love that because she kept saying all through the first couple episodes, "But he's in love with me. Look at him. He stopped doodling because he was in love with me." And so
Right.
now, I mean, maybe he was on his way to being in love. Now listen, it was. Listen, booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
Walking everywhere, bounce, new booty.
He was definitely trying to get that squeeze on because like Jay said, he done told the young man, whose name is apparently Chris.
Yep.
I've been calling the man Ambien this whole time, AKA
Mhm,
Deontay, AKA Chris. But yeah, he needed to use that peen before he loses it. So
mhm.
this is who Danger, AKA Calvin, was talking to Velvet, who is apparently the female gang leader, right, of the
Yes.
crew in the hood that's putting pressure on everybody, that basically runs their hood in Detroit. And they run deep. I mean, she's cooking for him. She got the Tupperware, talking about bring my Tupperware back, talking about she bought him his first taste of Cootenanny. I mean, they went all the way back, and we find out that someone named Tate is missing. Now, we're not introduced to Tate yet, but I wrote it down and put a little exclamation point next to it because I think that's going to be somebody that we'll be hearing more about as the season goes on. But what did you think about this interaction? What do you think about this new character, Velvet, or V, as he calls her?
Well, when I saw that red wig, I was like, "Red velvet. I love red velvet cake." You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is definitely auntie. This is definitely, like supreme queen, queen bee. She's running the show. And, she's like, "Listen, I got to remind you, man." You know what I mean? So when she revealed that she paid for his first, experience with a woman, it had to be an older woman. So I was kind of like, he was like, "You paid her to do that for me?" So she had to remind him, like, "Listen, I got you in the pocket. So just make sure you do what I'm asking you to do, or your whole independent thing is gonna be pretty much over." So, you know, you still there? Uh-oh, I think she froze, guys. Yeah, so red velvet cake. Let's see what happens next. But yeah, we're gonna find out exactly who you're talking about and see what happens next. But I think he's definitely a key factor when it comes down to bringing this thing around, as to why Mo's husband is, doing some things in the car for these unscrupulous people. She will be back, family. And until then, what do you guys think about Red Velvet and Danger? Do you think Danger is going to? Do you think Danger is going to get your girl Diarra? Is he gonna, really help her out with this conversation with Red Velvet?
I do. I think
Okay.
that, like she said, it's basically quid pro quo. So I think if he enlists his crew to help find Tate, because like
Yep.
she said, you're gonna be recruited if I'm not able to find him in whatever time. I think if he does that for her, she'll do this for him. I definitely think it'll be kind of a fair exchange, ain't no robbery. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because
Mhm.
she's clearly got the manpower and she's got the ability to ease up the pressure. Now, I don't think it's gonna waive that, what was it, $50,000,
Oh,
but
oh yeah. Yeah.
it might take some of the pressure off Monty and her husband. I was
Yeah,
honest.
maybe. Oh, I was gonna say maybe it's going to extend the time period as to when he's going to need to provide that 50K. Maybe it'll stall things for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking at least it might get them out of his everyday affairs, right, and having him
Mhm.
do extra tasks that, might not be necessary. Now listen, honey,
Mm.
Diarra showed up and showed out. I said, "Okay," it was very much giving. If you remember Whitney Houston's outfit in The Bodyguard with the hood,
Yes.
the
With
long,
the
I was
hood.
like, "Okay, Diarra."
Looking good. So I was like, okay, got a little cleavage going on, you know what I'm saying? With little A cups there. I like it.
I wasn't even mad at it. I said, "Listen, she is on her way or actually arriving at the ball,
Mhm.
the Detroit experience for Aja, ready to give her speech first because immediately after this, we have the rendezvous to get to." And so, of course, she's there looking all around,
Mhm.
and we know she's gonna see Swa there. I mean, it's inevitable. It's her cousin his cousin's event. So, what did you think about her interaction there, the kinda rushing through everything, trying to get to the
Like,
rendezvous timely?
yeah, she she was fulfilling her obligations to her, to the cousin of Swa, to her friend, to a great friend. Again, I like the fact that she is trying to juggle this at the same time, get to everything that she found out, everything that she figured out. She has this whole intuition, like she goes into this whole phase of like figuring things out and seeing the images of him doing this and that. And, I like to see that. So yeah, I thought she definitely was like, all right, let's get to the speech. Like, let's get the speech going. Like, let's do this, let's do that. I got places to go, but I'm here to support you, but I'm not trying to push you. But can you do it? Can you do it?
Like, "Can you? Can you? Can you do it?
Yeah,
Can we get it popping?"
yeah.
Absolutely. And so while she's there, again, trying to juggle everything, Mr. T comes over and he's like, "Look, I done found some information too," right? And so you're like, again, when I thought everything was going down, none of the friends really wanted to support her. He's coming with more evidence and things to look at. And so while they're kind of going through all of that, we see her come up with this theory about the rendezvous point, what Chris was doing there, and she kinda maps it out in only a way that Diarra can do, right? She's like, "Okay, this wasn't a regular meeting, this was a setup." So she has it theorized, right, that he's gone up, set all these traps in this building. Jay, the more I watch this show, I do really think that there is a super secret Negro society that he really is a part of and was recruited for when he was young. What do you
well,
think about it?
well, again, I still need more information before I make that conclusion. But I mean, definitely it's very intricate what he's doing. Like, why does he have pictures of this warehouse? Why does he have pictures of the barbed wire? Why does he have pictures, of him putting up these little, things like in the meat market? Like, what is that about? So he is very detail oriented. So if you're very detail oriented, you have to be some type of spy. You have to be some, like you've been recruited into something where you've learned all of these skills. And this, I mean, like it's not like you work for I don't know, maybe he works for a real estate company, so he's taking pictures of the property. But no, this is way more detailed than that. This is like very intricate and out of place. Like it's weird at the same time. Like, yo, okay, how do we figure this out? What is he doing? And Diara, she kind of put two and two together. She's pretty good at that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
she actually is. She can solve some stuff. I think her powers for good reason, she could solve a lot. But yes, traps. Yeah, well, basically kind of like Home Alone, the way we saw him setting up the traps
yeah,
inside that warehouse, that's exactly what it looked
true,
like.
exactly.
Okay, so meanwhile, back at the ranch, right, at the ball, Dresser is talking to Aja, and he's basically like, "Aja, okay, you want this, you're gonna build your salon downtown, all of that, but what is it that you wanna give back? Like, what about the community?" And I really loved this moment. I don't like that she didn't quite have an answer, but I did like the moment because it does beg the question. I think all of us can kind of ask ourselves when we're arriving, right? Or when we're getting to our destination, who are we bringing with us and what are we pouring back? What did you think of their interaction?
Well, first off, his story was powerful, saying how 15 of his family was evicted. Turned around, he arrived, bought the property, bought the building, and kicked the slumlord out, right? I
Period.
thought that was powerful within itself to go along with what you're saying. Like, what are we giving back to our community? How are we going to buy the block, right? There's a saying out there, buy the block. Once we buy the block, how do we rejuvenate the same place that we came from? So I like how they're inserting this in here. And yeah, I wasn't mad that she didn't have an answer. I was absolutely on the level to say that's why he's here, to give her the vision that it's not just about her making this list. It's about arriving, getting to a place, and then doing something to give back, you know what I'm saying, to the community. So I thought it was important for him to talk to her so he can give her that vision and let her know, hey, you can do this when you get to this level, and this is what you should do. But in order for me to really like invest in you, you got to understand the overall vision of what we need to do for our community.
Absolutely. And I like that too. And it is, as a leader, important to cast vision, right? And give people something to run with. I do think a lot of times, and I'll say, she's just been focused on herself and her list. And I think what I finally saw break through in this episode with a lot of the characters, if you notice, they are, while they're good friends to each other, a lot of them are very singular in whatever the goal is, right? And they can seem or come across as self-centered, right? It's about me right now. This is about me. This is about me. And so I did love this moment or this episode because we get to see that no, they really love each other. They love where they're from. And now, like you said, they have a clear vision, and especially Aja, she can now run with that, right? And see what's next. And I know she can do a lot of good, honey. Now, listen. Diarra had to dip out. She saw it in her mind. She done mapped it out with the pictures. So now she and Monty are in the car. It's 1 second till rendezvous. And when I tell you, I was like, I need y'all to leave. Immediately, I wanted them to leave, but we know with Diarra, listen, she's gonna go through with it. She's not waiting any longer. And so we meet a brand new character in this. Diarra goes into this meeting that Ambien, aka Chris, aka Deontay, was supposed to be having with this woman. He doesn't show up. And so they kind of get into this sparring war, Diarra and this woman talking about he didn't show up. Well, you didn't show up. This isn't going to work. My answer's still no. And Diarra's like, what are we talking about? Because again, she has no idea. And the lady's like, well, who are you? Well, who are you, ma'am? And so then they pull out the phones and they both take pictures of each other. And finally, Diarra's like, I gotta go. Okay, we gotta go, Monty. Let's go, let's go. But before she can leave, we see three bodyguards. Now, what was your thought of this interaction? Who do we think this woman is?
Man, like that's the mystery. That's the question. Who is this lady, man? Like, so again, we go back to the spying, him being a spy. But at the same time, I think this was a deal that went wrong. So he's making deals now. Okay, what is the deal about? Who is this lady? Does she own real estate? Does she, she has something that he wants? So he's meeting up with her to negotiate a deal. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to think about, okay, what could she possibly have that Chris wants that is very significant to who he's working for or what he does. So I like how they're giving us these little crumbs, and they're very little,
Very
little
little.
crumbs. Yeah. So like, who is this lady? Like, it just makes me want to watch it even more. Makes me like, yo, okay, I got to see the next episode. What the heck is this about? Who's this lady? And then these guys are running after them. And then they go and follow the little breadcrumbs that Chris left.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
this is
I
this is well
felt
written.
I knew it was a meeting for something, right? But
Yeah.
I honestly got the impression that Chris was trying to set them up. And
Mhm.
I don't, but again, I don't know, are they the mob? Are they the Italians? Are they are they the Greeks? Are they Russian? Like,
Right.
who is sponsoring all of this foolishness, and what could we really be talking about? Is there really another Deontay? Is it like some sort of trafficking thing? I had all the ideas. So, I mean,
Right.
only time will tell because like you said, they are piecemealing us with this. And so
Oh yeah.
the ladies have to run out, okay? They're out of there. Uh, dirty and all, hair left sideways, up and down. And they're running, and immediately we hear this voice that says, "Come on, get in the car, get in the car." And they're like, yeah, no, because who are you?" And then we hear gunshot or we hear blicky shots ring out. And so finally they jump in the car and we discover who this is. This is the same man that's been following Diarra around town. This is Detective Elias. Well, former
Right.
detective, Eli.
Retired. Mhm.
Mhm, mhm. They say, "You're young
Mhm.
to be retired," Diarra said, "Fired."
Right.
So what did you think of that interaction and the car ride and everything that he kinda broke down saying he was on the case all that time ago, he's been investigating things, she's in over her head. What'd you think of that? Was that a word of warning? What would Diarra do?
Yeah, so the interaction was informative and funny at the same time. Um, he was trying to give them a warning for real. And it was on top of these people chasing after them. You know what I mean? So it's like you got somebody chasing after you, the blick, the straps is pow, 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 pow. Get in the car. I'm trying to tell you, like, don't even do this. And they just kind of dissing him because he didn't do as good of a job investigating this almost 20 years
They are.
ago. So they basically being disrespectful to this man, even though he saved their life. I'm like, what are y'all doing? How y'all gonna disrespect this man? And he just tried to save you. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
Uber rating 0. You don't get a good Uber rating.
Right, right. Like you're the worst Uber driver ever. And it's like they just disrespected this man. And like, how you gonna do that? And he saved your life. Like, no respect at all. No
No,
respect.
no
But
respect, Rodney Dangerfield. I get no
I get
respect.
no respect. Take my wife, please. Right? So I know about that.
I know
But
you know about Rodney.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'm just saying, man, it was pretty bad. But again, okay, thanks for the information. Whatever, dude. Can you take me to this function that I need to get to? Because I got to get back to that and do this speech. So again, that's why I like this show because the unexpected is always happening, right? Them disrespecting him saving them, right? These guys are chasing after them. Who is this lady popping up talking about? She said that Chris is she said he was a thief or something. She said something disrespectful.
Con man, honey, she said he was
Con
a
man.
con man and a scammer.
Right. Right.
Scammer? I
That
said,
is a clue because now we see somebody outside of the Yarvis group actually describing a different type of Chris that she doesn't know.
yeah.
So is he a
Has
con man?
knowledge of him, exactly.
Right, right.
Or
So
is
for her
he
to
just
say it.
conning her? Yeah, because I
Yeah.
I do I'm thinking double life. I am thinking secret spy.
Mm.
I'm thinking the professor was right. But yes, TJ, yeah, a ton of twists and turns. I think that's why we love it. Hey, Breeze.
Hey, Brees, what's up? What up?
Diarra would betray her people. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Diarra is a woman of her word, and I think she's about her people. So,
What's up, Daria? Mm-hmm.
oh yes, we're gonna get to it. We're getting to that next, Breeze. And the song. Jay was listening to the song, honey, before we
Was
got out here.
recap. What's up,
Hey,
Daria?
let's get into it. So they're running late. We know that because now they're in the car with the detective on their way back to the Detroit experience. And T's got to stall because that's the arrangement that was worked out. And so he gets on the mic, honey, and starts singing a cappella. A song about Detroit, honey. Apparently a cult classic, a song that represents a city, okay? And he's singing, and then the DJ that he hooked up with at the rave or at
Mm.
the Smet Club, brings the accompaniment, okay? I was surprised that Mr. T got a voice on him. He sang down, if that was him singing.
If it was
What'd
him
you
singing, right.
think?
It
What'd you
was
think of
funny. It was funny, like very descriptive. This is how we get down. This is what it is. I'm like, again, once again, these the scenes are well written and played and performed very well. Like very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys haven't seen it, if you watch it and just pay attention, you will be greatly entertained. So I thought this was entertaining. DJ comes in. I mean, it was pretty funny and dope at the same time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
it?
gonna lie.
It was, and he bought Diarra just enough time, honey, because
Yes.
Here she is, and, I almost I know it was about the rendezvous and all that, but I also
Mhm,
felt like this episode was a love letter to Detroit, and I
mhm.
loved how they took every moment that they had the opportunity to kinda breathe new life into a city that so many people had just thrown away, right? After the car factories closed, after all of, like, the corruption that we had seen in their government, it was like, "Detroit, don't nobody wanna go to Detroit." Like she said, "They say you can buy a house for $1 in Detroit." She's like,
Mhm.
"Where?" And she just goes on to talk about, of course, kinda her struggles because, like I said, everyone's kinda self-centered, but she did bring it back to Aja. What an amazing friend Aja was. She also kinda stuck it to Swa, when someone discards you, throws you away, tells you you're worth nothing, you can prove them wrong. You are worth something. This city's worth something. Aja is going to be everything. A beautiful speech. I was moved, Jay.
Yeah.
What'd you think of her speach?
I
It's all over
mean
the place, but really good.
definitely sneak dissing, within the speeches. It was definitely, inspiring and conspiring and, taking jabs at the same time. But again, as we've learned about Diarra, like, she's gonna give it to you straight, and she's going to clean it up and give you a nice package in a Detroit style. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go, take it or leave it. It is what it is. But I thought what she said about her friend was definitely touching. And absolutely, she got her jabs in. It's like, I'm gonna make it anyway, regardless of what you have done to me, Swab. Regardless of what's going on and what you think I'm going through. Watch. I'm going to make it. I'm gonna be fine. We're all gonna be fine. And yeah, it was a great speech.
That part, just like my city, just like my
Yeah.
city. Detroit is amazing. There's so much history in Detroit, musically,
Mhm.
artistically, like, the DJ is sprung low. Oh, absolutely. Talking about all the beautiful people winking at Mr. T. I love the Pistons, the Red Wings, and the Lions. I love Detroit. Okay. Give love to he already gave the love to the he already gave the love to the DJ. Now, this is a part I didn't understand. After the speech is all said and done, Diarra, is excused from the stage. Monty was there because, of course, they had come in together. She had held her coat, and when after she saw the speech and kind of the love that Diarra gave to Aja, Monty left really sad. What did you think about this moment? I was a little perplexed. I was like, is it because Monty's not in this world and maybe she wanted to be? Like maybe she wanted a different life than what she has? What'd you think of it? What were your thoughts?
Well, looking at what we discovered about the closeness that Monty had with Diarra since they were like very young, I think the fact that Diarra was given all this praise and love to Ash, that it was like, wait a minute, like, I'm supposed to be your best friend. Like, we riding this out together. Like, I'm letting old dude squeeze my booty for the picture that we got. Like, I'm sacrificing, to get this case for you and for us to get this bag. So I think she may have felt kind of bad because, yeah, the love was not going in her direction, even though they went through what they went through. You know what I mean? So I don't think it was a form of jealousy. I just think that she was kind of like down because it was like, oh man, if that's the way she feels about her, how does she really feel about me? Is am I just along for the ride? Am I just like feeding her information? And are we not as close as we used to be? So I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and I hope we get to flesh it out later on in the season because I think it could be a part of that, right? With just seeing the difference in their friendships, but I also wondered if it had to be, and then the signage and kind of the moment as she's walking out, and it's like the gala behind her, and she's in sweatpants and her little. I just wonder,
Yeah.
right, how that all will play out. But I hope we get to see more. Really, I mean,
Mhm.
that's what's being said.
That's what
That's
the old man said. If you watch the show, TG, you got to watch the show. That man was like, "Okay, I gave you information. Trying to get a little squeeze on." That's what she offered. So what it is. What it is.
turn over. So after Diarra's speech, honey, Dresser is like, "This is going up." So Aja is set, I feel
Yes.
like, for her next phase and her next step. So the gala did what needed to be done, I think, for Aja, right? And I think,
Oh yeah.
I think Diarra got a little bit liberated too. Now,
Yeah,
they have a moment.
they do.
Um, and I don't know, because 'cause I'm kinda like, "Swat, you really don't care." Like why are we even, "Are you okay, Diarra? Like, are you losing it?" Like, that was some speech, and she was like, "Yep, Swat," and she's like, "You're my wife," and she's like, "No, no, I'm not," and I think that was the first time we've heard it definitively, right? The conversation between her and him, "No, I'm not your wife." What'd you think of this interaction?
So again, Swaz is the in the moment type of Negro. Okay. If somebody is shining or is looking good, he want to be a part of it. So now you want to come over and ask, are you okay? Now you're concerned. You know what I'm saying? After she did her thing, I'm sure he heard the jabs, the little like people discarding you, da 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 da. And I'm sure he felt it. And that's why he came over and did what he did. But the definitive no, we're not married
Period.
was a great liberation, as you said, for her. The speech definitely lifted her. For her to say, nah, we're not married, man. Like you did what you did. You're still not doing right by me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be fine. It was
period.
a hey, nah, you can't knock me down. You think I'm not gonna get up? I'm from Detroit. I'm a fighter. I'm
Period.
Diarra. You know what I mean? You're not holding me back. You know what I mean? So
This is a question I have for you though, because
yeah,
we do have, I think, 3 more episodes. I think believe it's an 8-episode season.
gotcha.
Is he gonna try to beg her back now that she's announced that she's done? Because we see that a lot. We see that a lot in real life, and, we see that a lot in the movies and the TV shows because now
Yeah.
she doesn't want him and she's unattainable. Is that gonna put him back on a path to try to get her
Well,
back?
if you think about it, right? Because I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing the young lady that he was messing with at that function. Was she there?
I didn't see her at the function. Nope.
So if she wasn't at the function and they're supposed to be together, maybe
Mm.
that's the reason why he went over. Are you okay? And all this and that. She says no. So it's a strong possibility as to what you say. He might try to be like, hey, let's bring it back together. Things may not work out with him and that other lady. So now he's going to come back and be like, let's put it back together. And most likely she is probably going to solve the case and find him. And we'll find out the truth about Chris Smith, AKA Dante, AKA the black spy, the black James Bond, or whatever he is, right? But
So
I don't
many a
think, say it again.
I said so many aliases.
Right. And I think, and again, I'm just making this final prediction, just a final prediction that I think she's
Hold on,
going
let me get
to,
hold on, Jay,
oh,
and
oh,
we're gonna make
wow.
it singular.
Final prediction.
There we go.
Because I kind of put two and two together really quick, and I'm not trying to spoil it, but it's just my prediction. I'm thinking that she is going to find out who Deontay, Chris is, and all of this and that. Going with your question, Ashley, yes, Swa is going to try to get back into her life, and there's a possibility that she's not going to pick Swa, she's not going to pick Chris, but she will pick Danger. Just my prediction.
Okay, you heard it here first, folks. That's the prediction. By episode 8, okay,
Let's let's see what happens.
she's not picking Chris, she's gonna find him, but she's not picking him. Swy is gonna try to shoot his shot to get back in them draws, okay? But she's not gonna go with either one, she's gonna pick Big Meech. That's how it's gonna go. You heard it here first, folks. Okay, guys. So now that Diarra has left and she feels liberated and free, honey, she kind of has her Raven moment. If you watch That So Raven, you know what I'm talking about. She would get the vision of the future. She would go, and that's kind of like what we see Diarra do throughout the when she gets her little thing. She's like, I remember that woman. Diarra always
Mhm.
remembers something 2 days later. Okay. But she said on their date, this was the vision she had of what happened on the date. Total recall. Chris
Mm.
bends down to tie his Jordan, slips something into that same woman's bag, and comes to the date. It comes back to the date with Diarra. Now, Diarra in this moment is questioning everything again because she says, was this really a date or was I just a cover for whatever secret mission he was on that night?
Mm.
What'd you think?
Wow.
I
Yeah. So that's why I love the writing of the show. It's so many layers to it. And yeah, I mean, if this is what she like remembers seeing, because it doesn't look like you know how she kind of imagines your boy Chris, Dante, and they're in bed and stuff like that. Like the whole cinematography, the whole gate, the colors change. Like she's in a dream state. So this doesn't look like a dream state. This looks like something that she actually does remember possibly seeing. Yeah. Yeah. She's gonna find out who he really is, though. Like I said, my prediction, I don't think she's gonna like what she finds out.
Ooh, so it's not gonna be good. He's not a secret do-gooder.
No, it may be exactly what you said. This whole date was a cover up for him to maneuver, slide notes, do whatever he needed to do. And she was just a pawn in the game, you know?
Mm, mm,
See,
mm.
oh, there we go.
There we go. A prediction that came true, honey. When she said, "Do you wanna come in?" I said, "Oh, she's dropping them drawers on tonight, Jay." And
Yeah.
looking back at that thing, DR is very thin, so I don't think there's much back there to look at, but he was looking back at that thing like,
Hey, you know what he looking at? He if she don't got no booty, he looking at the small of her back.
"Oh, is
That
that what
part.
it is? If she
Mhm.
don't have booty, you look at the small."
You look at the small of the back because once you bend that thing over, it changes. You know what I'm saying? It's true.
She said she needed some sleep, okay? Now, I'm wondering if Danger gonna get a new name. Listen, because she
Danger to go.
maybe he'll be Soma, maybe he'll be a muscle relaxer, I don't know, maybe he'll be I don't know any other sleep meds, Jay, but the Benadryl puts me to sleep. I don't know.
Danger gonna turn to ultra banger. Gonna bang that ass.
Lord, it looks serious. She had that look on her face. I know that look, Jay.
What's that look?
That's that come on and get it. Look,
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I've seen it before. Moving right along. Moving
Mm,
right along. Now, another new character. Like I said, they're dropping new characters left and right. This is somebody we know from a million other shows and movies. I can't give you his name because I didn't look his name up, but he typically plays a bad guy. But in this
mhm.
one, he appears to be some boss. And then this is oh boy, big boy. What's his name, Jay? You know him, tied up in the saran wrap down there.
Who was that? Oh, Big Tank?
Big Tank, yes. And so basically the man is questioning him like, "Who is this woman?" Okay, she's problematic, she's in the way. Not she's a loose end, but basically she's a loose end. You know
Mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
Questioning him, and this man, we know he was the worst investigator ever. He followed her for 2 days and still don't know anything about her. Were you surprised in this moment about what was happening or what was about to happen with this bobcat?
Nah, I wasn't surprised at all because, this guy was super sloppy. Big Tank was super sloppy. Like, he had no idea. You know what I mean? He's not getting the answers. So, if you don't give the gangsters answers, man, it's gonna look like you're part of the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? So this big skinzilly head has to go. You know what I'm saying? If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem, huh? So it's time for Big Tank to become Big Mac, you know what I'm saying? Big meat. Just to get him out of here.
Jay,
Some
he didn't have to
delicious.
do him like that, though. He did not have to do him like that. So, of course, he questions the man. The man has no answers, and so Big Boss gets in the Bobcat and is like, "Hey guys, don't laugh at me. It's been a while since I've driven one of these things, because they be putting people on the concrete." Anyway,
Yep.
he gets in that Bobcat, and when I tell you he crushes this man's head, I was
Mhm.
like, "They're not gonna show it. They're not gonna show it. They're not gonna show it. This is BET Plus. They are not gonna show that." When I tell you they showed it, we didn't see splatter, thank the Lord, but we got the picture.
The crushing.
Traumatized. traumatized. Okay. And so
But
he's
look,
out.
look, if they showing full frontals of Russians, come on. You know they're gonna show.
Lord have mercy. You're right about that. And they did do that.
Right.
Lord. But yeah, that was really the episode. I think this was the very last scene, and as he walks away, he's telling his mafioso fellas,
Yeah.
"Look, she's a problem. We need to get to the bottom of it."
Mm,
Yes. Yes, TG, I know what you mean. They will sleep with the fishies if they cross the line.
that's
Exactly.
right, TG. Swim with the
I you know,
fishes.
I just hope someone does their real due diligence and knows that Diarra is not who they think she is. But okay, we do this every week. It's become a custom now, right? You have to tell me your rating of this episode. Now, in the beginning, you said, it wasn't quite your favorite, started out slow, but overall, one out of from 1 to 10, what's the rating for episode 5?
Episode 5, I'm gonna give it a strong 7.5. I'll give
Okay.
it a 7.5. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely
that's
give it a
just because
7.5.
it's a slow start, not a ton of action.
Yeah, it wasn't a ton of action, but when it did pick up, it picked up. So yes, we have to, get kind of used to the build up. We're used to the powers and the BMFs, and when episode 5 comes, it's supposed to be a whole lot of bang bang boom boom bada boom, right? But again, this is the hour from Detroit, not Power. So again, just a whole different pace. But when it did pick up, I liked it, and everything in between, a lot of funny moments. I'm waiting to see where is Felicia Rashad. Come on back. I want you. I want you to come back. Hopefully next episode. But yeah, 7.5. Yeah, that's what I'm giving it. Mhm.
I'm I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Yeah, Brees, I did not think he was gonna do that. I didn't think 7.5 is fair. Yes, okay, so I'm probably gonna give it a 8 because
Okay.
I love when people represent where they're from, and I
Mhm.
just this is gonna mean a lot for Detroit. Like, I'm excited for kind of the rebirth of Detroit. Listen, her speech got me excited. Like, I love a
Okay.
comeback story. I love an underdog, and so I loved that. I did. I felt like this episode was an ode to Detroit, and I hope that it serves well. I am looking forward to the rest of the season. Y'all know I love this season so far, though, Jay. This is one of the better things that I've seen 2024 so far. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can agree with that. It's way different than what I usually watch, and because you pretty much introduced me to it and shared it with me, I of course had an open mind. And
yeah,
I'm very satisfied with this recommendation. So kudos to you on the recommendation. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. For real. Good job. Good job.
I appreciate you being down to do it because I know it is something different. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the reviews, and I thank you so much for coming every week. I'm gonna give you the floor though, Jay, and you can tell the people what's going on this week.
Sure, sure. Well, again, thank you for having me. This is always fun. This is again a really good show. I'm enjoying it so far. So thank you again. So, family, as you know, we have the new show called Handle the Truth. So last night till the morning, we did a 4-hour session. A lot of great information in that. Super fun. Asking a lot of detailed personal questions. So if you like to get into the other YouTubers' business, then watch that. But it was definitely a lot of fun. So we just did Diarra. Tomorrow, Monday, look out, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to bring you the exclusive picks, final predictions for BMF episode 7. Again, we covered episode 6. Make sure you check that out. Of course, our Ashley, she was hosting that one. God bless her on that one because, okay, you'll find out how I feel in that. So we have that. And then Ruthless Roundtable this Wednesday. Come through this Wednesday. It is, we're recapping and having a live discussion on the final episode for season 4. We may have some celebrity guests show up. So if you're into Tyler Perry Ruthless, definitely tune in. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when we upload it, when we go live. And then we will be back with BMF episode 7 of season 3. And I'll be hosting that one, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, it will be better. And here's what I found out, Ashley. I found out that your boy, Russell Orsby, aka Charles Wilson, Charles Flannery, is actually not hosting. He directed episode 7. So we're gonna see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? Russell, not Charles. Okay, Russell is
I know.
directing. Okay,
Listen,
okay,
I know. I liked him in what is it, Lincoln Heights. I liked him in that.
okay.
He was a good man in that one. Um,
Don't
but thank you
start.
guys, and please be sure to check out everything that Jay has got going on. As far as my channel, guys, tonight I am dropping Palm Royale episode 5. I am dropping Parish season or episode 2, honey, because that episode, if y'all aren't watching Parish, get into it. I dropped my Mary and George review yesterday, so a ton of content coming. Yeah, so just stay tuned. As always, I appreciate y'all watching and being here and being active in the comments and for the super chat and all the love. Y'all know I rock with y'all because y'all rock with me. But if you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.